Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Do you see a scenario where the Browns take two quarterbacks in a draft? Remember the year the Redskins took RG3 and Kirk Cousins? Do you see a scenario where the Browns maybe do that for a couple quarterbacks to find their guy? And the second thing is, what do you think of Will Howard as an NFL prospect? Because he's got great size and he's got great speed. And I never even heard a projection on this kid, but then I remember when Josh Allen came out of a nowhere school and nobody really ever heard of him, but all of a sudden he was a top quarterback in the draft because he had a strong arm. Will Howard may need some arm strength, but I think he'd be an all right NFL prospect. Just want to hear your thoughts. Go Browns.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Scott, they could very well take a quarterback early and a quarterback late. Again, if they like somebody and see him as somebody that they think could develop into something, I wouldn't be surprised by that. Will Howard, I think, is kind of a day three. I don't think his arm strength is quite what you want. The best thing about him is he's really competitive, I think. I think he is, and he's tough. But I'm not sure what he does well translates well enough to the NFL.
Yeah, the two quarterback thing is interesting. They seem to hear that every year. Fans, for some reason, fall in love with that idea. I know the Washington did that with RG3 and Kirk Cousins that one year, and worked out for Cousins. I would tend to go more veteran, but who knows? Like we said, the quarterback's wide open. Howard, I tend to agree with you. There's sometimes, you get those day two, day three guys that wind up working out and turn into starters for you. I mean, Kirk Cousins, I think, was a fourth-round pick. Not that we need to talk about him every segment, but I like the size. I think he moves pretty well. You're right about the arm strength, and I really tried to focus on that in their last game against Texas. I was trying to watch him and say, okay, where would he be in this draft class? And that's the drawback for me, is I don't think he has a huge arm, and I'm a big, strong arm guy. But I think he is worth taking a flyer for somebody on day three of the draft. And I kind of feel the same way about Notre Dame's Riley Leonard. And we're going to see both those guys go head-to-head next Monday night. And because they're both big guys, they both move. I think Leonard probably moves a little better than Howard does. But, if you don't love a guy high in the draft, then this is the kind of guy you're talking about. Hey, maybe you see something in him that you can cultivate and turn him into a future starter in this league. And guys that take their teams to the national championship are certainly worth considering in that pool of guys.